Conservative new media viewers and MMA fans all around the world, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion. Okay, here it is. My prediction for GSP versus Carlos Condit for the UFC Welterweight Championship of the World. It's going down in Montreal, Quebec, Canada tomorrow. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Look, Carlos Condit, he's tough, he's fit, he has a lot of different moves, he's got good game plans, everything like that. GSP, coming off, you know, he's not as tall as Condit. He's coming off a serious knee injury. You know, hasn't fought for a while. Maybe he's not as sharp, whatever like that. Bottom line for me is, here's how I see this fight. I mean, I think that Carlos Condit absolutely can win this fight. I think Carlos Condit is dangerous. I think it's, for 5 rounds he's going to be dangerous. And I think if GSP makes you know, some mistakes, GSP could get KO'd. Okay, straight up. I mean, Carlos Condit, he's been taking people out, all right? Just knocking them out, dude. You know, Dan Hardy, etc., taking them out. But at the same time, I think this is going to end up being like a, you know, a GSP fight that we've seen before. I think GSP just has the vastly superior wrestling. I think he's stronger, and I think if you cannot stop, now Carlos Condit's pretty good at stuffing takedowns, but is he that good? I mean, if that's the bottom line. I just trust GSP to his wrestling to be able to take Carlos Condit down. If Carlos Condit can't be taken down, if you look at Carlos Condit's record, he gets taken down. Okay, even though he stuffs some takedowns or whatever like that, and yeah, he's got a submission game, everything like that. But I mean, you know, GSP, if you're a pretty dangerous striker, he's going to take, and even maybe if you're not, you know, he's going to take you down, and you're going to have some problems. And I think that's what we're going to see. So we're going to have to see, you know, is GSP's legs and strength and everything there the way it used to be before the injury, and can he just impose the wrestling and take some down and do it for 5 rounds here? Can he control the position and the action of this fight for 5 rounds? If GSP can do that pretty successfully, I think, you know, GSP's got this victory in the bag. I think GSP's going to have an easier night of it. On the other hand, if Carlos Condit is able to stay on his feet for a significant amount of the fight, then I think Carlos Condit's going to get, you know, get some things done. Carlos Condit's taller. He's able to put together some very dynamic strikes. I think he's an excellent striker. I mean, he can do all kinds of stuff. Give angles, good foot movement, you know, flying knees, do all kinds of things like that. And GSP has shown in the past that, you know, maybe he doesn't have the best chin out there, in my personal opinion. So I think that's kind of the way I look at the fight going. It really comes down to, you know, GSP's wrestling versus Carlos Condit's takedown defense. And when you're dealing with that, I like GSP's wrestling. Again, you know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think wrestling, in my personal opinion, is the most important, you know, skill set to have in MMA. And anytime you have a decisively better wrestler, you know, generally I'm going to favor that person. But, you know, there's definitely, you know, exceptions to that. GSP is someone who has shown in the past, in my personal opinion, the ability to use his wrestling extremely effectively. And, you know, I see that happening in this fight again. So I'm going with GSP by decision. That's where I'm at in this. But don't get me wrong, I would not be surprised at all if we see a Carlos Condit KO or some kind of situation like that. And you know, Condit to really send a message out there of where he's at in the UFC